After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Okay, now we're... Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 588. Today is Wednesday, February 13th, 2024, as we are recording, except it's not Wednesday, it's actually Tuesday. So it's February 12th, because it is. Okay, tomorrow's the first day of Lent, so we're not doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun and the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something that you like and that you will stay. If you are returning, we're glad to have you with us once again. If you are new or returning and you're in the shadow, please feel free to become official. Just tap the little subscribe button on your right, the little red button, and hit the little bell gently so that you can pick your notifications frequency. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Okay.
I don't remember if we actually said that.
Yeah, no, we didn't, because we did, but it was the one that you're going to cut off.
Okay.
And I'm a little off kilter because that's not the way we usually do it. But anyway, how many projects do you have today?
4.
Okay, I have 5.
And I left my notepad for this one in the other room.
I think
so
I have
can't
5.
work on this one.
Anyway, let me just have my tea. In my Adagios, Owl and Other Forest Creatures mug is a blend that I did. It's called Comfort and Joy. It's not Christmas. It has to do with what you like to, the kind of comfort type foods or drinks you want to do. And this is a second rendition of the blend. I think I had too much Ceylon tea in the other one, and it was kind of bitter and left a weird aftertaste. And I don't know what's in it. I think it's honeybush vanilla, I think. No, rooibos vanilla. Honeybush chocolate or something, and
It's on Adagio.
it's on Adagio if you want to find it. Called Comfort and Joy. I just don't have the time to do this without drawing this all out. But anyway, it smells really good, and it's got sprinkles in it. And you're not going to be able to see it without me dumping it. So,
They can
see
kind
the
of see
sprinkles. And the picture is one I took when we were on retreat a few years back.
It's not a desert.
It's not a desert. It's just sunrise or sunset in the near the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that cute little lamppost. So yeah, that's my own blend. It seems to be. I think it's better than it was because I don't like astringency, and I don't like the way some Ceylon teas or black teas make my stomach feel. So this is almost completely an herbal. It's low caffeine, and the only black tea I think is the butterscotch, because the other one's honeybush and one's rooibos. So those are 2 herbals.
Okay, so let me just give my tea a stir.
That's much better.
Uh,
I was telling Talia that this actually might work as a latte if I make it stronger, because rooibos is a very strong flavor that you kind of take or leave, but in this it would make a nice latte.
so, before I show the mug, I'm having Boulder Breakfast. This is a tea spot tea. It's got black tea, pu'er tea, calendula flowers, sunflower petals, dark chocolate flavoring.
I'll let you taste mine if you let me taste yours.
Okay.
Because yours was
Wait, did you have chai?
no.
Okay. I probably won't like yours because yours sounds like it might be strongly rooibos and herbal, but I'll taste it.
It is strongly, but it's not. It's hot still.
Because I don't care for rooibos. The black tea is what saves this one.
I'm not a big.
Oh, it smells like rooibos.
You don't make nearly enough of a funny face.
Yeah, that's definitely too strong of a rooibos for me. Let me just clean out my mouth.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind rooibos in certain blends, especially like this one I can drink, like I am drinking it with just some sugar, but I probably, if I go ahead and get a bigger package of it, I will probably use it double strength and put milk in it, or some kind of almond milk or something to make a latte, because it would be really good. The extra punch from the rooibos would be really good for that.
Yeah, I think the herbals are just not strong enough to counteract that rooibos taste. It's just because an herbal simply...
Well, honeybush is an herbal, rooibos is an herbal.
Yeah, I mean, honeybush isn't strong enough to counteract the rooibos, and you don't have enough black tea in there to counteract. Whereas this is black tea forward, and it also has chocolate in it, which can...
I think this is a chocolate honeybush, or maybe it's a vanilla. I have to look.
But I think there's enough of other things that the rooibos isn't the forward taste, because it doesn't smell like rooibos. Now this hasn't had a chance to settle. I'm not getting the chocolate flavor really that much right now. I'll let you taste. Mm-hmm. This mug's a little bit hard to measure properly because it's a bit bigger than my other ones.
Because
this one generally has to mature. I'll let you taste, but like I said, it doesn't taste as good as it normally does because it hasn't had a chance to sit very long. Because it tasted...
I actually like it better than I did this morning.
Huh, that's funny.
It still has that black tea aftertaste that I really don't care for.
Now, I'm not sure if the rooibos that I just had in your tea is affecting my enjoyment of this one right now. So I'll let that taste sort of fade a little bit for me and then come back to my tea later.
Yeah, it's not going to let me find my tea, and I don't know how to find my blends on here. I guess I have to... things access on Adagio differently than on your phone. And so, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it.
You should still, let me go ahead and...
Because I wanted to tell you what, it's bugging me now, what the ingredients are. I know it's honeybush and it's rooibos. The rooibos is vanilla. And and I think the honeybush is a chocolate. Because I think it was going for kind of chocolate, vanilla, and butterscotch. Mm-hmm. I didn't want caramel because caramel tends to be really, a Ceylon tea, and it's really hard for me to stomach sometimes.
Right.
Which is not to say that I might not put some caramel syrup in it or something.
Right.
It's comfort and joy.
I know it is. I'm just, give me a second. It's, you continue doing what you need to do next. I'll find it.
All right. We have a whole bunch of different, well, we have 2 different alongs going on. We are almost well, I guess we're exactly halfway through the alongs that we're doing. And the first one is the PHN Anything Goes Make Along, and that's anything goes, literally anything goes, as long as it fits the groupings that we have, which are paper crafts, knitting, crocheting, loom knitting, weaving, and things like that, okay? And...
Mom, is this a published tea?
No.
Well, then that might be why it's not showing up.
No, it should show up. They have something that says...
Yeah, but that won't show up in a search.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I did a review on it.
Well, if you took it off published, it's no longer going to be seen. And
I can see it on my desktop.
But there must not be I don't know. It's not there right now.
Well, I can't show it to you right now. So,
but I think the thing is because it's not published.
Anyway, the paper crafts and the knitting, crocheting, loom knitting, weaving, and that kind of thing. You know, paper crafts includes journaling, drawing, making paper houses and paper dolls and all that kind of thing. Cards, that kind of stuff. All of that is included in our alongs. This is the anything goes, so anything in those mediums. And if it's if you use a Lady Fernico creation, if you use Lady Fernico Creations, anything that I put out, anything that Talia puts out, Franciscan Gypsy Designs, or Laura Concert puts out in her Lollipop Girl Creations, I think it is, for the whole shop. Those things all have multiple chances at a prize. If you want to know what you have to do to get the multiple chances, it's in the threads. Let's see here. So we do pull for prizes quarterly for this one because it's a year long, and we will have an all year long prize also at the end of the 4th quarter. But excuse me, it's not necessarily bigger. It just gives everybody another chance to have a prize, because we found out very quickly that having a big prize was really hard to mail out.
Yeah.
Okay. The Ready, Set, Go make along. Okay, the same kind of things: paper craft, knit, crocheting, loom knitting, that kind of stuff. And the same featured yarns and patterns. My stuff, which is Lady Fernicle Creations Ties, Franciscan Gypsy Design, and Laura, who is Lollipop Girl Creations. Eventually, we might have some paper people like Soto Studios or something. Stop that.
I was just saying, why is it making that noise?
It needs attention. It's saying, look at me. Look at my mug because it wants to be looked at. So anyway, if you have featured yarns and featured patterns, the multiple chances at a prize, as we said before. And this is all the starts, okay? Nothing that was started prior to January 1st. Everything had to be January 1st or later. Once you've started it January 1st or later, then you can do the whips on those projects. But nothing before January 1st, okay? This is only a 3-month cal, so it goes through March 31st. I keep saying cal, but it's make along, so it's a mal.
Right.
And the hashtag for this is PHN Ready Set Go 2024 on Instagram. The other one is hashtag PHN Anything Goes on Instagram. Okay. Let's see here. And that's all I have to really say about that because it's all in the threads. If you are not in the group phnhome.freeforms.net, there's a little link in the description below the video, and you can click it and ask to be let in, and we'll let you in as soon as we know that you're not a robot. Okay. Yeah. We're not discriminating against robots. It's just
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I guess we are. We want people. Okay, people. All right.
Don't lie.
I never lie. Okay, now let's see here.
Once again, you are first.
I am first. Okay. I didn't do a whole lot of work on this one. Mostly just on the podcast, I think. This is in my...
I can tell that I'm reading Roman history because my first thought was first among equals.
Anyway, this is a Knitter's Magic bag. She mentioned me on Instagram the other day.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. She still has some of my yarn in her shop. So if you're ever out in Winchester, Virginia, look her up. She is Knitter's Magic, and my yarn is there along with other people's yarns. But I'm one of the local dyers over there. So this is one of the bags that she... and one of the local makers does for her. And it's a really nice bag. And in it is my 5410 Studios On the Porch blanket. Welcome, little one. And I really didn't get too far on this because I only worked on it during the podcast. But I'll show it to you. I worked on other things. So you can see it's moving along. I think I'm still on round 1.
You know what it is? Before it cools, the rooibos is the front flavor.
Right.
And then as it cools, the black tea and the chocolate come forward.
For this?
This one.
Oh,
that one.
I thought that didn't have rooibos in it.
You know, this one has rooibos.
Oh, okay.
But it's not normally the forefront flavor because, of course, I don't drink my tea hot. I drink it as it cools.
Right.
So, but this one, it actually, as soon as I smelled it.
Yeah, it smells like rooibos.
It smells like rooibos.
And I don't have a lot of rooibos in there.
It's a very strong rooibos smell. To the
It
point.
tastes back a little bit. You can taste.
I don't want. Yeah.
No. You can taste the chocolate and the vanilla better now.
I think rooibos is a flavor that tends to be your best while hot. Well, that might be why it normally is a boiling.
Yeah, it's rooibos is one of those overpowering, kind of like banana. I had to do another tweak on one of my other ones that I wanted to do a chocolate banana bread. Oh no, it was a chocolate pumpkin banana bread, and it was so banana forward that I dropped the banana inclusions or the banana tea a whole lot because it was just very, very strong. It was not that it wasn't good. It was all
Too much
banana.
banana.
It was just they have a banana already. They don't need another banana. So I haven't tried that one yet, the new rendition of that one. But there are certain teas that just seem to be a lot stronger. But anyway, that neither here nor there for this blanket.
Yeah.
I am working on it. It is moving forward. I think I will finish this because I'm enjoying it. I'm not putting any pressure on myself, and I do like 5410 Studios stuff. I have a whole ton of their blankets, and I may pick up another one later on when I just say, okay, just do another one in bulky weight, and maybe not white, but
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm not sure if I would ever work a white blanket.
well, you were telling me that you wanted something classic. It'd be an heirloom is what we were doing, an heirloom quality. So, and I wanted to do it. Now I've done it, and now I'll probably stick to colors. Like I'll
Yeah.
get, and I could just get bare yarn.
Oh no, white is definitely a classic look.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm saying I wouldn't do it in white, but I did knit that cabled sweater in kind of like an off-white.
Yeah, but that's not a blanket. I got the impression that you were talking about just a blanket.
I mean, in general, when you're working a bigger project, there's always a concern about tea spills and things like that.
Well, that's why I'm doing this now while we're talking, so I can drink my tea after I put it away. But I've done a couple of things in my bare necessities. I did Lala's shawl, her simple shawl, in this because
That's
Heidi
right.
did it in that white, and I really liked it. So I did it, and I did the bobble stole that I think is where I first originally hurt my hands on those bobbles. Because it was at that time I was doing all those bobbles, and I was also trying to see if I could tighten my gauge a little bit to meet more with yours, and I hurt my hands. So
You're trying to meet someone else's gauge is...
it's better to adjust. Don't try to adjust your gauge to that. Just change the hooks or needles, change the yarn, whatever you have to change, but don't try to make it too much tighter or looser because you're going to hurt your hands.
Because the reason I'm as tight as I am is not something that was attempted. I don't even pull that tight. It's just how I happen to crochet. And I know that it's probably a bit tighter than normal because we've had people think that my work was done in fingering weight. It's because my stitches are so small. Now, I don't know if I've loosened a bit since I've done less crochet, but...
You might have, I noticed that I pull a lot on all my stitches, and that's why they're loose.
Well, I think it's the difference in how we hold our yarn. I hold my yarn very much the same way I do when I'm knitting. So
Yeah, I do too, but I just hold it differently.
yeah.
It's just,
Well, you do a lot more of it. You do this. You don't loop around like I
I
do.
have it, see?
Okay, well, you still do something different. You do.
I loop it around my
You just loop it around the one, whereas I'm not actually holding my yarn other than with...
I think Megan from Stockton Zombies said someone told her she was the most inefficient knitter ever. I bet if I sat down with Megan, I'd probably knit like she does.
Yeah, you are a very inefficient knitter.
I do a combination of throwing and picking, and I don't know. I would love to see how Megan knits, just to see if we knit the same way, because I have a feeling we might. Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm purling, so you're going to see more of a throwing motion, but normally there's hardly any...
Yeah, I'm doing a knit stitch.
Yeah, whereas if I'm doing a knit stitch, I'm just pulling it in. There might be a slight movement, but it's not a full-on throw like you do.
So it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm just taking back these knit stitches because I don't need them.
I need to get my finished objects I left on the desk.
So, for me, they're paper crafts, right? Not knit.
No, paper crafts.
Okay, so I thought. Well, I just want to make sure because that affects what area they're in.
I just have to pick it up. That's all.
Yeah. So, in my Silver Shed USA Rebel Scum bag is my TARDIS socks. Are my TARDIS socks? I figure I need to actually start finishing some of my socks. So I
think
started
it is are my socks.
Yeah. The project isn't but the
is a pair.
Yeah, that's where I tend to get a little bit caught up because sometimes I'll just have one sock done. Now in this case, I'm only working on one, but the other one is done. I've reached the heel flap. I figure I need to start finishing some of my pairs of socks, and the best thing to do is for me to start finishing the ones that have one already done and where I'm working on the second one. And this one, it's a heavier weight. There's no reason I'm not blowing my way through this. I left my notepad
tight. Turn up a lot. I'm sorry.
The only reason why I'm not working on this now is because I accidentally left my notepad in the other room to tell me where I'm at row-wise. So I will work on this again later. Just because the way I also tend to need to darn my socks because of the way I wear them, I need to have more pairs of socks.
Is this the what pattern is this? The boot socks?
Yeah, it's not just born boot socks. I tend to like them because they stretch.
Is that Heidi's yarn or is that
wild hair? This is a wild hair. Heidi doesn't tend to have quite this
right. Vibrant.
Hold on, it's saturation.
Oh, okay.
her colors aren't that saturated. Hers tend to be very
Muted.
pale.
Yep.
I would say she's arguably closer to Kay's,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Wild Hair is far closer to yours, to the point where sometimes I can't tell if it's her yarn or your yarn.
I think Miracle Jen falls in that too.
Miracle Jen is somewhere in between. She does a little bit of both.
Yeah, she does more.
I don't usually mix up her yarn
Mm-hmm.
with yours. I frequently mix up Wild Hair with yours. The only time I do it is when Wild Hair does some striping. But for the most part, I have to remember whether or not it's yours or hers.
I miss Marigold Jen. She was such a sweetheart. She is such a sweetheart, but as a yarn dyer, she was such a sweetheart.
Right, yeah, she is a dying. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yarn, right.
I'm not sure what she's up to because she just kind of. I haven't seen her on Instagram or anything. Of course, I'm not on a whole lot anymore either, and I don't think she is either. So, yeah.
Well, she might find she's less reason to be. Now she's not doing the shop anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it for that project.
Okay, in my Silver Shed USA, another person I don't see nearly enough. This is Anne. Now Anne Gander, I think is her last name.
Mm-hmm.
Anne Brody, right?
Yeah, well, it was Brody
Yeah.
now.
This is the Silver Shed USA, and for a long time we did kind of collaborations with her.
Multiple collabs.
Yeah, yarn and bag, pattern and bag, celebration type things, and this was our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We just gave her the images, and she did the rest of the work.
Yeah, I really love the way she put it together,
She-
because we didn't have any. We left composition a lot of times to her.
Yep.
We just would be like, "Hey, this is generally what we want."
We told her we don't normally like the big
picture,
the big like center thing. We don't usually like that, so she knows that we like more of a collage effect. So she did this for us, and I think this one we only had available in gray.
Mom, here now you can taste the chocolate coming forward.
She tastes that one, but
Well, no, that's too rooibos. I can actually smell the rooibos in that.
it's
So
not as bad now. But
yeah, I don't. If I can smell the rooibos, I don't like it.
I still don't really care for this. I mean, it's okay, but it's
I know you liked it better when it cooled. You know, of course, if that was quite cold.
I didn't care for. I thought it was thin then.
Yeah, that's true. You did. No, if I can smell the rooibos in it,
This is really good.
it's just not my kind of tea.
The butterscotch is starting to come out.
Mm.
I will put a warning on that though, that people who are averse to rooibos don't pick it up, or
So it's actually a good thing that I'm so strongly averse to rooibos, because then you can say.
well,
that.
I know it's got rooibos too. But,
Yeah.
But if you want to give it a try and just wait till it cools, then you might be able to drink it.
Well, let me give it a small taste so then you can tell people that whether or not someone who's strongly adverse to rooibos will like it at all. It's better. I still wouldn't pick it up, but it doesn't have that nasty rooibos smell
Right.
anymore. And you're right, the butterscotch has come forward. I guess rooibos really is one, if it's piping hot,
It's very strong.
it's a strong flavor there. Yeah, actually, you mostly get the butterscotch there. So
I love butterscotch.
you can say that then in your in your review about it, because
My mom-
I strongly dislike rooibos, and
I'll probably say I'll probably show it to you before I put it up there so I don't misquote you, but it'll be a upgraded review, and now I can put that available to people.
yeah,
And then
because
I won't put it on for the community, but
yeah,
so this is how I thought I was going to be finished with this, but I've added a new skein. I think I'm going to make it a little bit taller as you're looking at me holding it up, so more like this.
yeah, it definitely needs more height.
Well, I thought at first it was going to be this way, kind of a preemie blanket.
Yeah,
But it's going to be taller. So I've got. I think once I finish this new skein, I'll probably be done with it. Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe this.
it's hard to tell with crochet.
Maybe this and a half, which means that you guys might not get this yarn as a prize. But
Or if you do, it'll only be one skein.
yeah, but yeah. So it's moving along. It's very, very soft. I really like the way the colors are playing together.
Although, Mom, if you only have one skein yet, it might be really cute to have a baby hat with it.
I'd have to maybe knit it.
You don't think crochet baby hat would be enough for 1 or 1.5?
I mean, I'm sure it would be.
Because it's a baby hat, it's not an adult hat. And that might be really precious to have.
I could have a loom knit hat.
Wouldn't that be adorable, though?
Yeah.
Like, you would have the matching hat with the blanket. That would be so cute.
Little baby hat.
It would be adorable.
Little baby
So
hat.
that's what, if you have enough yarn, I think you should do that.
Maybe I will.
Because it would be a little set. That one you might have to save for someone in the church.
I'd have to be sure they're having a girl.
But the thing is, you would give it close enough to when you might even give it after the baby's born.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you know, oh, okay, Darren takes up this many skeins, you can kind of plan in the future to make sets.
Yeah.
Because that's really a cute. All I could see is little baby with the baby hat with their matching blanket, and that would be adorable.
They're called layettes. You know, they have the matching blanket. They have.
Well, I was thinking booties, but
Yeah, booties too. I don't do booties.
At least the hat is just like it's too adorable. I've never made booties.
I have a hard time. I think I tried it one time, and I don't know what I did wrong. I have to sit down and maybe try again. Because I noticed that aside from blankets, like baby blankets, and even some of the bigger blankets, if I have the need for it, my bigger projects are either shawls, or I'm doing smaller projects.
Right.
I don't.
Well, you also maybe see if there's a loom knit baby booty pattern.
Yeah.
Because
That would be kind of easy because probably it would be a tube sock.
you're right. It probably would be.
It probably wouldn't be a heel; it'd be just a tube sock.
No, you're probably right. That's probably exactly what it would be. So
I have to see how you do ribbing on that, because then you can just take the preemie hat, because they have little tiny legs, and I'm not sure if you have a small enough loom to make that. Even
well,
the
I'm
smallest
sure if
one.
you look it up and they'll tell you how to do it over just part of the loom. But yeah, I mean, that could be adorable. You have a little set, and then it's something that is really precious for memories later. Yeah.
Grandma wanted me to teach her how to do this because she said she couldn't figure it out, and then she forgot to bring it with her when she came.
Oh.
But
Hey, I mean, her learning to crochet
she did great.
what was it when she started? Was she in her 70s or 80s when she started?
I think she was in her mid-70s.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal because it's not easy to learn new things the older you get.
Your brain is less elastic.
Yeah, your brain's a lot less elastic, and not everyone is inclined towards trying new stuff. You know, regardless as to elasticity of the brain, people tend to be set in their ways and maybe don't want to pick up new skills, and so it's really laudable that
I just think it's funny. Your grandpa said you're not going to be like Marlisha and Taya. You're just going to sit there on the couch. And my dad sitting down is an anathema. He wants to go and do, and he's like the ever ready battery.
well, at least her crochet is a lot more portable than her sewing. So if she wants to, she can grab it, go to the living room for when they're watching TV, and then shove it in and go take their 20th walk of the day.
Yeah.
But
Although he is slowing down a little bit, but not noticeably. You know.
he'll be walking when he's like 110. But yeah. So I highly, I think it's so laudable that she picked it up in her 70s, and that also not only she picked it up, some people would have maybe a bit of a roadblock from learning from someone younger.
Oh, my mom's never been like that.
No, but some people do.
Yeah, that's where I got my attitude. Both my parents are like, if you can learn something from somebody, it doesn't matter how old they are.
Well, yeah, I know that I took that idea into my nursing career, that it didn't matter if it was a CNA or whoever, like, if it was within their scope of practice, then they knew something potentially that I didn't. And being snobby about it wasn't going to do the patient any good. So you can always learn something from somebody.
You only hurt yourself when you refuse to learn from someone younger or someone who is different because of whatever preconceived notions a person might hold. And so I've always been of the opinion that if I can learn from somebody and they're willing to teach me, I don't care.
Everybody has something unique that they can teach somebody if the other person is open to hearing it. there's always something that someone knows that you don't. But for
Although I do keep thinking of the turtles saying, you know, but you taught us everything we can beat you.
We learned everything
you taught us everything
we know. That's
and but I didn't teach you everything that I know.
Well, I totally think that's what Batman does with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he teaches them most of it, but he tries to keep an edge on them. Now, not enough that it would hurt them in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely could see Bruce doing that. Although Dick's come pretty close to beating him sometimes at points when he's as he got older, you know, and because Bruce is getting older too, so you have that kind of.
Well, he's not in his prime, or sliding down the other side of his
right, and Dick's headed toward.
Probably close to equal.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce still has that edge of having taught him, but. Sorry, that's a complete nerd conversation that no one else is going to care about because most people don't talk about characters like they're real people. Although in the nerd community,
you mean they're not?
in the nerd community, you will have these discussions like as if they are real. In the comic book,
we had those discussions here.
Right. Well,
I don't mean just us.
Yeah. Well,
every once in a while, Daddy will talk about it.
Dad falls into that. He is in that area, you know, there's varying, you know, levels in different areas, but, I mean, he's the one who got me into comics. So, he does fall into, I mean, he watches some of the same videos that I do, Nerdrotic and all those other...
I watch some of those videos.
Yeah, you watch Disparu, and not Nerdrotic.
I have watched Nerdrotic.
Nerdrotic. He's the one that I got the idea for my BookTube, logo from.
I'm trying not to do a lot of that.
Every once in a while, I'll send you a clean critical drinker. But he likes, unfortunately, it's in spite of the fact that he has some really smart ideas, his language is
salty.
Which is such a shame because his conversation with Ben Shapiro on Star Wars was brilliant. To talk about a nerd.
Is that the one
you watched that one. Talk about a nerd with
I didn't agree with all the stuff he said.
I didn't agree with the rating of the Star Wars thing. Now, I did agree with... I was like, yeah, when Shapiro mentioned the Thrawn series, because...
Okay, once again, nerding. Let's move forward.
Okay, yeah, sorry. It was just funny hearing...
This is a Pandora's box in our house.
It was funny just hearing a political commentator just completely geek out. It was like my worlds were colliding with my political stuff and then my nerd stuff. It was like you know those what do they call it? The circles that enter. I'm not sure what that's called.
Vectors?
Huh?
What?
Okay, so you'll see these. It's
vectors.
Are they called vectors? Where you have the circle, and then the circle, and then you have that middle part where they meet.
Yeah, I think
they're called something else.
They are called something. I forget what they're
Someone
called.
else will know what that is, but it's like generally they're colored circles, and then the color where they meet
is like red or something.
Yeah, and it's like that's where your crossing over of your worlds is, and if you're on the far end, you might have crossover at something else over here.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I've seen them a lot.
They're pie diagram. Well,
they're not pie.
They're not pie. They're.
It's just like you'll see where certain topics cross over with others.
I keep wanting to say they're vector diagrams.
They're not vector. Right. I'm not sure what they're called. Someone will know.
Yeah. It's open to the general public. Put your comments in the video.
I've seen it a lot.
Put your comments, your answers in the description below the
for what those
message box.
Yeah, what those diagrams are called because I see them a lot. It's just funny when you have worlds colliding like that.
And when that happens, Taya's head explodes.
Well, you know when it's hard and weird is when you see people in, like for example, in your workplace, you know, your personal life, because you really are a different person in your different places. So it feels like it's, I don't know, you're code switching.
Well, there's a reason why you don't always recognize people if you see them out of their natural habitat.
Yeah, when you see them out in their environment. Well, like, I had a patient who said, oh, I almost didn't recognize you with clothes on. Because they're used to the scrub. So it's just like, you might not want to say that in public.
Right.
now I've heard multiple nurses say that particular thing where they've had patients say that to them. So it's a common slip. But anyway, is it my turn?
Yeah, I just showed mine.
Which one did you show? That's right, you did. Okay. So my next one is, I'm not sure how much I worked on this one. In my
Venn diagrams.
That's it.
See, I knew.
I kept saying, I said like V. It was.
I knew it was a V.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, that's exactly what they're called.
I can't tell if you can see.
You can kind of see it. It's just bright. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about.
I knew it had a V in it.
And I knew it was like a short word.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm not sure how much I worked on this. This is in my, my medium-sized Silvershed USA 10-year podiversary bag.
There's a theme.
Yes, and this is, sorry, it's getting tangled in itself a little bit. This is Mom's silver Fun mitts. So they're building. I believe this is either silver bells or quicksilver. I'm not sure because I lost the ball band. Yep. I didn't want to have anything new dyed because I'm trying to work through my yarn stash because I'm trying to get a manageable amount of yarn because I need more room for books.
Right.
So I wanted to not use a new skein. I wanted to use what I had. And it's like, I think I have enough here. So,
yeah, we both spent, and we're going to do this again in the next couple of days and probably through next week. We're moving things around because we're trying, not that we're giving up knitting and crocheting.
No.
But, like, I'm trying, I put down a set number of bare yarn that I want to have for the shop, and then what space I have left, I want to fill with scrapbooking stuff.
Right, and I was getting my scrapbooking bags organized really helped because then I was able to clear out my scrapbooking drawer and move some of my acrylic Pound of Love, my baby blanket yarn, into that drawer because it's like that's not something I need to access all the time because I'm not constantly making baby blankets. So that was a good place to put it because it's not convenient to always open that drawer because I keep all my project bags in front of it. So I'm like, okay, that's a good place for that. And my scrapbooking stuff, now I can easily access it. And it cleared out a huge space in my bookshelf for me so I could put my many books in there. Because unfortunately, because of my tastes in reading, sometimes I can't find books in the library or in Kindle. Or it's a ridiculous price because it's textbook, and I have to find it cheap on like eBay or one of my many used books places. But because this is my interest area, it's like, okay, I need to make room. I don't mind even like with my tall shelves stacking books on top of them. I just need enough space.
There's going to be a time where you have to stop getting so much.
Oh, for sure. But it is because of my interest area, and it is what it is. And I know that I've been reading more. It's where I keep my brain active.
Now I will go over this if we have enough time in the shop. Just keep it in your head. That think about it. I will be having fingering sock and DK, and some worsted and some bulky. I'm interested to know if you guys think that sport is a good thing to carry or not once I get rid of the sport I have.
Or if you just want her to pick it up on an as-needed basis.
As needed. And also if you think you would be interested in the 50-gram skeins, because I won't be carrying those probably too much unless people want them. And so I need to know if that's something anybody would be interested in. So just think about it. I'll mention it again during shop, and you can be thinking about maybe put in the comments section to help me out a little bit.
I'm glad I went with this shop, Mom, because the hood is wider.
Shop what?
I'm glad I went with the shop that made this one.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
Sorry, I know that would seem a bit unusual and a random thing, but I had to adjust something with my hair because it keeps falling out of the hood.
Right.
And I was just noticing that it's wider than most hoods I have, so it doesn't feel as constricting.
Taya, do you want to check and see if we have mail coming in? So I don't think we do, but...
well, yeah, let me grab my phone and take a look at the...
Did I put the fax on?
Oh, I have no idea if you did.
Let me get up and get the facts on just before I do because my husband said he'd call about 1, and I think we'll be done by then, but...
It's only 11:57, so I'd be surprised if we have mail yet. Let me see. You had the flag up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let me find what my next thing is.
Flag's still up,
Okay.
so... We have not quite a doorbell cam, but something similar to that.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is in another one of the Knitter's Magic bags. And yes, this is my husband's, because I stole it because I was cold.
Oh, the mail's here right now.
Oh.
He literally just dropped it off.
All right, let me go see if there's anything that we're going to use for stash enhancements. She can blather for 5 seconds while I do that.
I'm not sure if it's tea in the box or something else, because there is a box there.
Okay.
So, I know we both have tea coming. Mom, I probably should have been the one to go, because I don't have as many projects as you, and it was your turn.
What?
I probably should have been the one to go, because it was your turn and I have fewer projects.
I just thought you were going to blather.
Mom, I can't blather. Was there anything for me?
You blather all the time. I think it's your crumlin. It's from Genoa.
Oh, okay. Was there anything else, like little...
No.
Any little packaging
No,
things?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know I'm expecting this stuff from Amazon. So that doesn't always come.
Well, I know that I generally have, things trickling in from Etsy, which is why I'm a little surprised that I didn't have anything coming in.
Well, it didn't have anything. There was a card from Grandma and Grandpa for Daddy and I, and there was something else, but it wasn't a box or anything.
Okay. Well, I know I get the little envelopes.
Well, maybe I don't think so.
Um,
I don't think so. I think it was some kind of advertisement or something. I might be mistaken, but I just looked at it real quickly.
So I'll take a look later.
Okay. I said in this bag, you already saw the bag. This is my Cherry Bomb Shawl project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. This is going to Talia, and I have made some progress. I did some work on this yesterday, so you can definitely see now the edging is different color. I'm looking forward to getting into another variegated, but I need to do more of this stripe first, or this patch, whatever you want to call it, before I put in a different color. I've been working on this for so long that I'm not sure which one I said I was going to do next, but
I know I had to in the the ones I'm working on. I ended up putting little notes into the skeins of yarn.
Right.
1, 2, 3. So I knew what order.
I think this might be. I think this might be the next one. I don't know.
I don't remember what you said.
I don't know.
I guess you can make up your mind as you go.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it right now. But anyway, so this is it. I'm working on the Courtly Love color right now. The one here is chocolate covered strawberries, yeah. And this is a like the Surabelle. This is one that I've done forever and ever. I do it because I don't have to think about it, and I like it, and the end product is really nice.
Right.
And this is actually for Talia, so like my husband says, how many shawls do you need? Well, do you really
all of them?
Do you want an answer to that? Because I don't really know. I just keep making them because I enjoy making them, and they're comfortable. They don't fall off your shoulders. I feel them big enough. So
exactly. It's just what it is.
Hmm?
It's just what it is.
What are you doing?
I was just checking to see what I had coming in, just so I have an idea. Okay, I thought that there was more coming in today. It's mostly just our stuff for the binders. Yeah.
And the binders themselves should be coming in.
Yes, because I thought that your lotion was arriving today, the one that we've been waiting for, but it's actually tomorrow. And Davina's birthday presents are arriving Friday.
Right. Yeah, and my tea, I think, from Adagio is coming in a couple of days. I didn't get a whole lot. What I did was, because tomorrow's Ash Wednesday, Ty and I both are going on kind of a moratorium for spending.
Which is why we snagged stuff.
And today's the last day we're going to snag stuff unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
If we need to get more sugar or get a replacement for tea that run out, we can do that. But we're trying not to buy just, oh, that looks nice, let's buy that.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a good practice anyway, because it's kind of spending too much that way. just kind of not.
Yeah, I know
buy
the
anything.
thing that saved me mostly is that I'm a deal hunter, but even that,
Yeah, but still, deals can pile up. It's like saying I get the scrapbooking stuff or the ephemera, but if you get enough ephemera, it still adds up.
ephemera is actually because I tend to, whereas with books they tend to get spaced out. Ephemera, I can sit there forever just adding up ephemera.
I sit there and I'll put things in the cart and they're like, oh, this is only $1. This is $2. This is $3.
So actually,
And then I look at the end of 15 minutes and it's $55 or $70.
it's really odd that because, especially if you don't purchase it all at one time, the ephemera actually is a bigger hit than the books. Because a lot of times the books, I'm not buying books I'm not buying 20 books at one time. I could easily buy that much ephemera at one time. What?
You buy a lot of books at one time.
No, not at one time. It's what happens is they get delivered, depending on when someone ships them. So it seems like it's all at one time, but they're actually spaced out.
It constantly looks like Christmas over here because she's constantly getting things in. But she also gets her groceries in though. So
yes, I do. I do. Medicine, vitamins. I know I had to order biotin the other day because for some reason it didn't come in automatically like it usually does. But
so yeah, this is moving along, and hopefully I'll have a different color in the next few podcasts. Maybe not next time, but maybe the time after that. I'll tell you.
Okay, so next for me is in my Ploverbird Piggies bag. This is my Balin's Hooded Cow. It's from the Thorns Hooded Cow pattern. I'm using Miss Babs in the colorway Squash Blossom. I am probably about 3 inches maybe, so I have another inch or so to go before I have to start thinking about actually making the hood increases. So yeah, once I get to that point, really this moves along quickly, and then I'll have this. It actually kind of matches. It's pretty close.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I got more of a butter, kind of the fall yellow for this versus that really bright spring yellow, which I don't.
It's got a gold undertone to it.
And actually I think they did call this color gold. Because it's definitely a certain kind of yellow that I tend to wear, not the spring yellow. But yeah, so that's this.
Summer yellow is kind of bright too. It's different than the spring. Spring is very
it's
pastel-y.
It's a warm weather yellows I don't tend to wear. I tend to wear the very autumnal yellow. Kind of like I wear the autumnal orange.
I do wear that. Autumnal orange, autumnal reds.
Well, red tends to be autumnal in winter.
Not necessarily. Winter, yes, but then you've got that really bright primary red.
But even that is something that falls in our area.
Oh yeah, jewel tone. So.
Yeah. That's not usually considered spring or summer color.
And although this color, my Courtly Love, falls in a red, I consider it more pink.
It's definitely more pink, which is why I made Davina's Hooded Cow out of that. Because I knew that wasn't a color I myself would wear, because it was definitely more pink.
Let's see here. Snap is closed. Okay, my next... Or not. Okay.
Not going to do it right now.
Alright, my next one is... I don't think I actually worked on this one.
Which one?
I think I worked on it only on the podcast.
Well, you still usually show that.
Yeah, this is in my Winter Cardinals bag. This is a Knitting's My Bag bag. It's a small one. It's very pretty. It's very well made, as she always did.
I liked it best once she stopped putting the little thing at the bottom where...
It's built in.
Yeah.
Because I can feel at the bottom it's just built in.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much when it wasn't built in.
Yeah, I didn't... And a lot of them at the beginning didn't build it in. They just...
They just sat on the bottom,
Yeah,
and they were annoying and got in the way, so I just would remove them.
So this is my thank you scarf project from the Cerbell Scarf pattern by Sarah Sweetheart, as if you guys didn't know that pattern already. Here's a skein of yarn. This has got a bit of fuzz to it as well, but not like the ice yarn.
Mm-hmm.
It's very soft. You want to feel how soft it is?
It is soft.
I think this is a yarn bee. It's colored oxblood. It's yarn bee, soft and sleek DK, low pill or low pile, however you say that. It's spelled pill, but I've heard people say pile.
Usually I hear pill,
But this is,
but I also hear it said a lot.
so you can see it's a very light kind of scarf. And it's meant to be kind of more of a fashion scarf than it is a, kind of warm scarf. It's meant more to just kind of look nice. And this was meant to be a thank you gift, but I don't know if it will be. So we'll see what happens. And this one is a little harder to work with because I think that this yarn is not really a DK. I think it's more of a sport.
Right.
Or a heavy sport or light DK. It just feels a little bit lighter than a normal DK.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I have to say about that. It's kind of purpley red. It's pretty.
So my final project, this is in, I'm not lifting up the bag because there's a lot of yarn in it and yarn will fall out, is in my Silver Shed USA knitting sayings bag. And it holds my Log Cabin Love. It's a pattern by 10 Hours or Less.
George.
Yes, our very own George. I am about to bind off for this particular log and then start the one opposite of it. Then after that color will be, let me see, I think that's part of the pinks. Take a look. Oh, here's my actual, there we go. Will be this one.
That's a pretty color.
So, and I think I said next would be, I'd take a look at what people suggested. Because if I did the pinks next, I would have to put this not against this because they're too close.
They wouldn't be if you were doing a pastel blanket, but you aren't.
No, I'm not. I would want to put the, let's see, where's the other one? Oh, this one. I would do this one against it if I had to. So that way it wasn't quite so close.
Right.
But yeah. But I can't remember if people said do the yellow after this or...
You just have to look back.
Yeah, I just had to look back.
A couple podcasts back.
But yeah, this is a fun project. I ended up doing way more extra yarn than I probably should have, but I wanted to. I ended up becoming, after I did this log, it ended up becoming a pattern that I decided I was just going to do the wool of the Andes in. So all the rest have a similar tonality to it because they're all the same yarn base, which is fun. I wish I thought of that from the very beginning, but this is fun. It's developing is all the same,
Very pretty.
or most the same.
I like the colors on the outside the best.
I do too. Well, at the beginning, I just grabbed random. But once I started getting into the wool of the Andes, that's when you start having some of the more fun colors. And it changed because at the beginning it was very
Muted.
Very muted, yeah. Not very much of what I would do. And actually the middle almost seems out of place with the rest of the blanket. Because everything else is so bright and cheery.
It's protected.
It needs the protection, apparently, from the big bad world outside. But yes, that's this blanket. Once this is done, I'll be able to start my other, or continue the other one of his that I have going.
Excuse me for
The
just
bigger
a
one.
second here, Davina. I don't want her to get something shit from the refrigerator.
Right, because she doesn't necessarily know what meal she's supposed to be having. But yeah,
Your stuff is already in the blue bowl of the fridge.
this is...
It's not time yet, though. Give it about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry, I got distracted. This is that. This is, all I have to say about this.
Yeah, I had to get her because she knows that if we go too long, she's supposed to start her lunch without us. But I have things already measured out in the refrigerator, so I don't want her getting something else out and throwing everybody off.
Right.
Because what's left, my husband will get first choice on, not tomorrow because tomorrow's the day of fast, but Thursday.
Right.
So I want to make sure he has enough, and then we'll go from there. Because the girls and I can do catch as catch can if we get a little bit lightweight on food because we're home. But
Right, exactly.
My husband has to be able to have something to take to work. Let me just finish this stitch. And, whoops.
It's a bunny.
It is a bunny. He is a bunny. He is a bunny. Cute little bunny. Okay, so let me just... Okay, that takes care of this one.
This does seem a little bit thinner this time when I made it, but it can be hard to judge with this particular mug because it's a taller and wider mug. So,
well, it's gonna be interesting when we do our new mugs. We have to. I think we should measure out ahead of time because then we'll know. And if you look on some of the teas, they'll say it's a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons for 8 ounces, and so we're maybe not measuring right. You know.
Right.
So, all right. Let me see here. My next one is in this bag. Chronically Crocheting gave me. That's Crystal.
A lot of times they say 1 teaspoon for 8 ounces.
Yeah, I think that's right. Something like that. This was given to me by Crystal. She made it for me. It's mine. Well, actually, she made it and then she gave it to me. It's a llama bag. I love it, and it makes me really happy. And in this bag is my Talia Squash Blossom shawl. That's a project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. Apparently I can't do anything but these patterns. So, unless it's 5410.
Yeah, you're still trying to figure out the other yellows that you had in mind.
Yeah, I have to dye up some Memento Mori. Or I could... No, it's not... this is not thick enough for me to use those fingering weight two together.
No.
So this is... I did some of this also... over the last couple of days, so it has grown a little bit. It's a little bit bigger Barbie shawl. And this is Miss Bab's Squash Blossom because she has to have everything in Squash Blossom. And I don't work much yellow, so I don't mind working in it.
It gives you something different and cheery.
It's very bright. I almost need to have shades to work with, but these patterns, I mean, when 4 out of 5 of my patterns are either Cerebel or Scrap Shawl, I mean, it's not like I have to think overly much about them.
Well, didn't you once have like 3 of these shawls going at once?
Yeah, I had one for you, one for me, and one for Crystal.
That's what I thought.
Or was that the time I had Laura's? I forget. Anyway.
You might have had 4 going.
At one time I might have done. Laura's was the most recent that I gave away.
Yeah, you might have started it, but then started focusing. Or you might have started on yours and started focusing on some of the others.
Yeah, it took a long time for me to finish my black and white one because I had to focus on Laura's and I had to focus on the wedding gift.
Right.
So, there's a lot of focusing going on. But this one, this is it. This is a very bright shawl, and Talia might get it before she turns 40. Maybe. Because I go back and forth. Well, both the ones I'm working, I think I skipped a stitch here. I did.
Oops, the bunny.
See right here? Right here.
Huh.
I will mark that. I don't mind going back. Let me just mark that.
Yeah, you can't drop down and fix crochet.
Let me just put this here so I don't forget it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. I must have been in a difficult lighting, or must have been going a little faster than I normally do.
Well, yeah, it must have been quite difficult lighting because this is a bright yarn.
But the living room light is not very good. So
yeah, I'm surprised you can work anything dark in there.
Yeah, I usually don't work too much in there that's dark, and I try not to work too much at night because it's just, even something like this, obviously it's bright, I missed a stitch.
Yeah. I find it's easier to do that with crochet than with knitting.
Well, yeah, because on knitting you have
it on the needle, whereas crochet, if you can't see, you can't find your stitch.
Right.
And so it's easier to skip a stitch.
Like the oxblood one I'm doing, I can't do it in that living room except in the middle of the day because it's hard enough to see the stitches in the yarn already because it's a little bit fuzzy and it's dark. And so I would have to keep pulling back because I would miss a stitch, or I would pick up an extra stitch because I thought there was a hole there and it wasn't. So when I do that one, I probably won't do that with that yarn again. It's just, I would probably use that for something else.
Right.
You know, maybe a knitting project or something where I can just have all the stitches on the needles as opposed to having to find where the stitches are.
Right.
Because it is a lightweight yarn, and so you have to use a smaller hook, and it's really hard to see. But that's what I have to say about that.
Okay, so that leads us on to journal stuff.
Okay, let me just get a little bit
Paper
further
crafts.
on here. I've been doing a lot of talking. You should go first.
Well, I only have one to show.
So do I.
Oh, I thought you had two. I thought you had the actual journal.
Mm-mm.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, let me get free from here. Where's my actual? There it is. So, we got a coffee cake and a coffee cake recipe from one of the ladies in our church.
Well, let's tell the story correctly.
Yeah.
This past Christmas, we always give out bags of cookies and things like that. And the lady we gave it out to, one of the ladies we gave it out to, returned the favor by giving us a bag, and it had, one of the things it had in there was her world famous coffee cake.
Right.
So Talia wanted the recipe. I would like the recipe, but I told her that Talia wanted the recipe. And so I asked her for it just recently. She comes into the church this past Sunday, and she says, I have the recipe for you. And I'm looking at her, waiting for her to give it to us. She's got this big bag. I'm just looking at it. She's like, oh, and the actual... she made the actual cake instead of the bread style this time.
Yeah.
But she gave it to us in this. So this is the thank you note for that recipe and cake.
So here's the back of the envelope, just a very simple bunny stamp. And then here, just blocking out her name, is the front, just the same stamp. And then I did her card. Now mine tend to be fairly simple just because a lot of times I want the calligraphy to be what shines. So here we go with some of the ink that I got for Christmas for my calligraphy. And then
Nice.
on the inside, I kind of wish I had done a little bit of a more firm stamping with the two bunnies and the teacups.
I think it's perfect. It doesn't have to be overpowering, you know?
And then there is the text saying thank you. And this is an early stamp that Mom got me from Hobby Lobby. Happy Bunny. This is before he was even doing... I think you had him, and then when I started doing paper crafts, you let me have him.
I don't remember.
Because for a long time I wasn't doing any, so I didn't have any stamps. But I ended up getting this one, and then the Keep Calm and Carry On with the crown, when you started offloading some of your stamps on me. Those are the only two I think I took, because I was like, I'm not going to be using... I don't want to just grab stamps and not be using them. So, yeah. Very simple card, though. I had some fun with it. But yeah,
cute.
I have to actually tape down the envelope to close it because I forgot that I wanted to show it. But I'm gonna wait till I show Dad the
Yeah,
card.
I think I would, like I said, I would glue stick it first and then tape it, because the tape can just be funky and
Yeah. So,
all right, let me pin this off here. Where's my? There it is.
because I forgot that I wanted to show it.
Yeah, I forget what thing I wanted to show, and I mailed it off. I think it was Grandma Grandpa's, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know, Mom.
That I wanted to show you guys last week, I think, and it had already gone off, so I couldn't show it to you. But I didn't take a picture of it,
Right.
so
I hate when it happens.
because I don't always put my stuff on Instagram. I can't be bothered to be taking pictures. I'm just not on Instagram that often anymore. I sometimes I'll get notifications, or I'll see something. You know, I go check in case there's something with my shop or something like that. But I'm really not on there very much. You're gonna see, like I said before, an even smaller internet presence for me because I don't want to. I want my life back. I want to, just kind of actually do things, get my house cleaned, yay, do crafts, dye up some yarn, all that kind of stuff. And being on the internet too much takes too much time away from that stuff. So
Right.
I will be less frequent on the internet. You still get a hold of me via email, via PHN, my Etsy shop, and all that kind of stuff. But mine, this is a Valentine's card for my husband. And so I haven't finished the envelope because I realized I wanted to put something on the back when I saw Talia's. But this is the front. It's part of the ephemera I got for Valentine's Day. And I will be putting something here. Not my Lady Vertical Creations because he doesn't need that on the back of his. Okay? And then I put this together. This is 4 different pieces on the front here.
Yeah, they can see.
So,
Very pretty.
and this part here it's 4 different pieces, but this up here came from the same part. This came from something different. This came from something different. And then this.
It has a very vintage feel.
That's what I wanted. I like vintage. So, so this is his Valentine's card. We usually don't do a whole lot for Valentine's, but this year he wanted to go out and he wanted gifts, so I thought I'd better make him a Valentine's card to go with the gifts. And I have to write in here. Actually, I was going to put the thing here, I think. Not back here, but maybe I'll do both. So, yeah. I'm having fun figuring out what my style is with this kind of stuff.
Right.
I seem to be enjoying cards right now, although I have done some of the journaling too. Not this time, though. Okay.
Okay, so then that leads us on to stash enhancements.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot.
Then let's let you go.
Do you have a lot?
Well, because I have a lot of stamp type stuff, and we think we're going too long, I can just chop mine out.
Okay. The first one I have, as I said, we were trying to, Ty and I told you, we're trying to top off things that we need in terms of tea or whatever before we hit Lent tomorrow. And so this came in. This is from Plum Deluxe. Usually I get Adagio, but I get other teas occasionally. This is Plum Deluxe because they're the only ones who make my buttery shortbread herbal. And I was getting a little low on this. So I'm going to put this in the tin for that. And they sent me a single of red velvet chocolate puer. And I've had this before. It's not overly sweet, but it's a portion. And I may put this in the prize bin, or I may drink it. I don't think it will take a full, even 10 ounce, maybe an 8 ounce, The other thing that came through was from Christina. She is our resident person who keeps us in prizes and stuff. So she had this lovely little card with a very nice little note in it, which I will not open, okay, for you guys because
Personal.
And then she sent us yarn for you guys. And the way it divides out is in here. But I believe she said that these are 2... Oh, there's another note card in there. Okay. 2 singles prizes, because this is enough to make a project. So this is for 2 different people. It's the same yarn. It's Barocco Remix, 100% recycled fiber. It's really pretty purple. It's got kind of that tweedy stuff that Ty likes to pick all the stuff out. And this is all one prize. It's 4 of these. This beautiful yarn. And I'm not sure exactly. Oh, she's got the thing inside one of these. Let me see here. Oh, okay, here we go. She lost the label. This is DK Collage Yarns Corntastic. Force gains 420 yards altogether, 200 grams. And this is what it looks like in the picture. It's kind of like a dusty rose. It's very pretty. So there's 4 of them. And that will be a prize for someone as well.
Yeah, almost a taupe.
She had this put together a lot better than I being able to get it together. Thank you, Christina, for thinking of us once again. There's also another note in here. Let's see here. Oh, right. Okay. This is her card. I'm not sure what that other one was. This is her card here. And it can be whatever I want because it's on a green screen. It's all green.
That's
So-
not bright enough green for a green screen.
I know, I'm being facetious. Yeah, I wondered about it because I was worried about this going away. So that's the other card is from a friend of mine. Thank you note, and then Christina sent this to me because she loves owls too. I love owls. Look at that, and she sent me. Oh, did she send me the picture? Is it in here? This apron that she. Isn't this fabulous? Look at this. There are owls on the apron. Ty, are you sleeping?
Nope.
Owls on the apron. And that's a beautiful picture of Christina, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, she said. I think she said she found it at a craft store on Etsy. I can't remember where she said.
Yes,
Etsy.
yes, you did.
She brought it from an Etsy shop a few years ago. That's absolutely fabulous. So yeah, thank you very much, Christina. I'm going to probably use this owl in my journals and the papers as well because they're the perfect size to put little notes and little line paper. Oh, and there's 2 of these. There's 2 owls, one on each side.
Oh, well, that's cute.
And then this is by her granddaughter when she was like 3 years old. So there are a couple pages where her granddaughter just kind of wrote her story, if you will. So that might make it into the journal as well because I think that's fantastic. It's just you can't really see it because it's very light.
You'd almost have to find the beginning of Darn, I lost my train of thought.
Well, that's because you're falling asleep.
I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
But anyway, thank you very much, Christina, for thinking of us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. The owl pad and the apron are so adorable. I love that pad and everything. And thank you for your generosity, Christina. Much appreciated. Okay, so that takes care of that.
Okay.
Kaya, are you going to be awake for this?
Yes. I was gathering my thoughts. Okay, so that leads us to other enhancements. So usually I'm awake enough to do this part. First things first. I've already used a couple of these. You saw the bunny and the teacups already. Here's a loppy.
That's so cute. Is that the one that you said was the opposite of the bunny butt?
No, because the bunny butt doesn't have lop ears.
Oh, okay.
Then there's this bunny. I tend to use the bunnies a lot for cards.
That's what your dad asked me. I said I showed the card for my parents, which had owls on it, and he's like, "Do they like owls?" I said, "I don't know. I like owls."
Yeah. Then this one you saw on the envelope. And this is what I consider the opposite of my bunny butt one.
Oh, right.
But, so there's...
If you could manage to make like a hole like they do for poo, like a hole on the front and the hole on the outside, maybe.
Right, so it looks like he's breaking through.
Yeah.
Then there is, this is supposed to be when I'm going over my Greek in my booktube. So it's a little hard to see. I'll show you which ones that she already stamped. I think these cover some of the ones that I have. So you can kind of see, yeah, it's upside down. There we go.
Don't forget the one in the back.
Oh, I didn't see one in the back. Oh, sweet. So that does show. So
I think she probably stamped all the stamps.
I think she did. So the owl one, which is actually how I found her initially. And then this one here, you can't tell quite as well as what that is.
Is that?
It's a lady on a...
That's not. What's a sloth?
What do you mean? Oh, no. This is actually, this shop is blue, so, a hue of Greek blue. And it was like the only place I could find that had a lot of Greek.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Then, oh, that's cool. So, I'll go over this in the back a little later when Mom comes back. A hue of, oh, I'm sorry. The actual shop is a hue of duck egg blue. So that's what the shop is actually called. Then you have this one with the ladies. There are different kinds of ladies there. This is the hoplites and the Greek warriors and the triremes, I believe they're called, the boats that they tend to use. Now, what's really cool, Mom, it's actually called a hue of duck egg blue. Stamping tips. Talks about how you can make your stamps last you. Yeah. How to ink, talking about image side in one hand and pat lightly with the pad. And then talking about how to press it down. Then talks about cleaning with a damp cloth, alcohol-free baby light, or use stamp cleaner. You do not want buildup of ink that will lessen the image quality, however. Stained stamps. Okay, you do not want a buildup of ink as they will lessen the image quality.
Yeah.
However, stained stamps do not affect image quality.
Right.
Let's see. Specifically regarding clear stamps, peel them from the backing sheet and pop them on your clear block. They will stick to and are ready to go. Store them in the original packaging or in an empty CD case. They love to attract dust. Should they lose their natural adhesiveness, wash them under a tap and leave to dry, or wipe with a baby wipe. That should do the trick.
Baby wipes.
Stamping does not require master crafting skills, but practice and patience and the desire to be creative. Have fun. I'll have to keep this in my bag because that's really nice.
That's nice.
So, her shop says a passion for Greece on it. Let's see. And then she also has a website as well as the... Now, this is kind of nice. She has her email addresses, her Etsy shop, her Facebook page, and then her telephone. Not that I would ever call Greece. No. But,
yeah, I'm in the United States. I don't know what time it is over there, but...
Beechwood or clear block mounted. Oh, sweet. I need to keep this. It has 15%.
Oh, yeah.
Discount code. And then I need to follow her on Instagram.
Which one's that?
This is the one who does...
A hue of duck egg blue.
Yeah.
That's an odd name. I like this. It reminds me of Wedgwood.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Now, underneath, she didn't have these stamps because it's on top of the... they have their own kits. Let me move this layer. I love the way they... Okay, thank you. I love the way she's packaged this. Oh, okay, no, she did stamp these. Okay. I do want to show, though, the soldiers and the, so I want to show, actually, where's that card for that one? It's, hold on. This one, I think. Yes. So the soldiers here with the blue ink, and then with the lighter ink, I guess this is the brown ink, with the trireme, it has 6 by 4 centimeter olive wood mounted art stamp with a taste of Greece. Includes a quality brown ink pad, which I didn't realize when I picked this up. It's a nice, I'm going to keep it in its little box thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it actually comes, like she said, with this little nice ink thing. And the other one comes with the blue one. So it's really cool. And yeah, this is where I was able to find all the Greek stuff that I wanted for my Macedonian stuff. Actually, I have another book that I'm probably going to read because after finishing Alexander the Great, I wanted to read about the successors afterwards and those wars that led to Ptolemy in Egypt, the Seleucids, all that kind of stuff. So, more use of these stamps. I also wanted to show you, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it because it doesn't have any other end. She gave this little extra, like, leaf. I think it's
It's a laurel leaf.
yeah. Or what's in the
Yeah, I think it's a laurel leaf.
what's in the crown for the
Laurel leaves.
that is laurel that's in the Caesar crown?
Yeah, laurel leaves.
Okay, so yeah, I bet that is what it is. So, excuse me.
Greek and Rome used the laurel leaves for the Olympics and for the...
Well,
yeah.
Rome did a lot of copying of Greece because they really didn't have a whole lot of fancy culture themselves at that time. So
They were barbarians at that time.
yeah, so they, even while looking down on Greece as almost effeminate, they still, their younger generation, starting with like Caesar's generation, Cicero, all that, they had a great respect for Greece. But it was the older generation. It was kind of like kids in their Greece stuff.
Okay, so that... You got more?
Yeah, because this is gathered over time. You remember when this came into Mom?
What is it? Oh, the owl.
The owl, the wizarding teacher owl who got interrupted. He looks like a university professor. Then this one is the painting owl. I was telling Mom I could see this using this above a calligraphy thing and having it like he just did part of the calligraphy, even with his creepy little youngster glaring at us all on top of that.
Do not bother the master.
Then this was a different person who did this. This is, I'm not sure if this is Greek or Roman. This might be a Roman musician.
It looks Roman.
Yeah, it kind of does look Roman. Which is good because I was looking for some Rome. This one is from Snigglesloth.
Snigglesloth. I love Snigglesloth.
This I picked up through Amazon, and I didn't realize till later that I also picked up some Snigglesloth on Etsy that's still coming in.
I have 2 things in my cart, but I can't justify buying it just yet.
And they have all their information from... Actually, this is this a stamp that's... Yes. Okay, so here is what the stamp looks like. Underneath the code and everything. So it's got... looks like Horus, Anubis... That might be Sekhmet. And you have the Ankh, I believe is what it's called, and a pyramid, and it looks like you have Thoth there. So
www.dragonflylaser.com.
I go to them a fair amount also.
Beeswax.
Yeah, this one I go to all the time. They're the ones who do the paper, newspaper wrapping. So I go to them a lot. This I thought is a good border for Egyptian things. Like I could see bordering like a cover or something with this, or something like that. Which is why I snagged this because I'm like, oh, that could be really nice. Let's try and think ahead. I didn't read any Egyptian this time around. But now I have something here that. Oh, I'm not gonna pull everything out of here. This is a bunch of medieval ephemera. That it was a whole special kit. The lady cut out a bunch of things. I don't want to pull out though because I'm afraid that it'll end up all over the place.
Yeah.
So you'll end up seeing it as it shows up in journals. But yes, you added some medievally buttons.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which was really sweet. This is my Spartan stamp. That's what it looks like there. Now this part here is something that I didn't realize I picked up rubber stamps that didn't have a backing on it, and I didn't know what to do about it, so I did some research, and there's something called Easy Mount where it's mounting foam that then lets you put it on those clear blocks, then you remove it and store it, just like they were talking about, store it either in the original thing or in a CD case or whatever. So I spent the other day mounting things. I did end up having to, and hopefully it'll arrive soon because I think I have other stamps that will need to be mounted that I had ordered because I had, I did a bunch of things. But using my normal scissors, I think they weren't padded enough, so I ended up it's finally got its feeling back, but for like a day or two I had numbness because I guess it was hitting a nerve.
Right.
Whereas they actually have something called the Easy Mount scissors. It was really hard to find, but I'm thinking that it has enough padding that when you, because this is a thick thing to cut through, so maybe it's sharper too. But I have the barge going to the underworld here, and I mounted that. Oh, wait, no, this one might have been pre-mounted. This one was pre-mounted. As was, you can't see it very well, but this is a wall, like in one of the pyramids or something. The only thing with these is that you won't be able to see what's on them. This is my first mounting. I mounted these medallions, medievally medallions, and so the blue is the rubber, then I have the foam mounting the back, and I just will have to remove the little paper to put it on the plastic. All of my mounted ones right now are medieval except for the Egyptian ones, so I won't be using them until next quarter. But I have like really cool things like a knight here. It's really hard to tell what it looks like. I would have to probably pull up the picture on Etsy and maybe copy it and paste it so I can see what I have there, because I can barely, I know this one's a knight, but the other ones I can't tell what they are, even though I know I have like a lady in here somewhere. But they give this kind of like torn parchment kind of feel to it, which is really cool. But yeah, the thing with the Easy Mount is because they don't have wood, they're easier to store. And I have enough foam here that I can pick up the cheaper mounting ones for a while before I have to go back to the wood, which means I'll have some easy storing for a little while. Also, Mom, if you end up getting any that are not the clear ones, the rubber ones, I can mount them for you. The clear ones don't need help mounting. No. They are taken care of by themselves. Oh, here's this one. You can actually tell it's a Spartan. There we go. He was fairly easy because he's not complex. He just has very clear color. I bet he stamps very well.
I bet he does.
But yeah, that is it. I know both of us have tea coming in, but...
And some things for our scrapbooking, but
yeah,
we were hoping those would be in today, but they aren't, so we won't see them until next week probably.
And I have like stamp things that'll be coming on in trickles, because sometimes they have to make the stamps. Sometimes, depending on where they come from, it takes a while. Depends on their workload, you know. So I had one point stamp that I ordered. It was bookmarks that I ordered. It took like over a month to arrive. So some of these things, it's gonna be like, did you order it again? It's like, no, I ordered a while ago. These are
just coming in
now. Oh, these are not your owls. These are mine.
All owls are my owls.
Not yours.
All owls are my owls.
Because reading owl is mine. I thought I had a reading raven and a reading cat. Those must still be coming in, and it's the same people. So I like I like the printed reading ephemera, but sometimes I can't bring my printable ephemera as easily, whereas I might be able to bring the bags. So having options for stamped ephemera is nice, or stamped reading animals is nice.
Yeah.
Although my reading animal printable ephemera is adorable.
This is getting really long.
Yeah, sorry.
But Ty got all her stuff in, so that's good. But for yarns, for shop stuff,
that's right, I forgot you want to talk about that.
All I need you to do, please, keep an eye on the shop if you are interested. The one lady who was very sweet and who is, I'm going to be doing yarn for her project a little at a time. I will get yarn dyeing soon, I hope. She knows who she is. I do want to know what you think about. I'm going to have a certain amount of yarn in my inventory for what?
When you're done, I forgot about my shirt I'm wearing.
Okay, inventory. I'm going to have a little more than the bare bones of the inventory. So I'm going to have for fingering sock. I'm going to have both regular and glitter. Same with DK. And I will have worsted, and I will have bulky, but I'll have less of those. And I wanted to know if you think, if you guys would be interested in sport weight, because that's one that doesn't sell really well for me. So if you're not interested in it, I probably won't pick any more up unless somebody asks for it. I do have some right now. And also, do you think that you would be interested in me continuing to every once in a while have the 50-gram skeins? because that's another one that I probably won't be doing a lot of.
Yeah.
So if you could just kind of keep that in mind. I hope to start dyeing yarn. Lent is coming up. I can't do a lot of things that I would be doing because, simplifying and all that. So hopefully I'll be able to dye yarn among other things. So just if you would put your impressions and your thoughts in the description, not the description box, in the chat below the video or at the PHN home group, then that would be helpful to me. Okay? I appreciate that. If you can, no pressure.
So I just wanted to double check something before I talked about this. I double checked when the video that I saw this hoodie on came out, and the video was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So I ordered it almost as soon as I saw the video, which was actually pretty close to when it came out. It was a Tom McDonald song, but I love this saying. So I didn't get the hoodie as it was in the video, which is like this light gray. I don't usually wear that color. Some people can pull it off. I prefer charcoal gray. Mm-hmm. But when I saw this yellow, you guys know I love this color because I wear that in, the squash blossom. This is basically squash blossom. I was at first concerned that Fax wouldn't show up very well, but I think it shows up okay. So yeah, this was a 2 week. It just took her a little while to put in the order. What I like about it is they put extra stitching like in the seam, like in all the different seams, because I tend to tear up my seaming.
She pulls at them.
I pull at them. And then what I also liked is it has the little, besides the knotting here, it also has a little plastic thing at the end, so I think it makes
like
it...
children have.
Is it only for children that do that?
Yep.
Not
only, but that's,
They also mentioned all the different seamings had extra, like the extra stitching or whatever. And I like the fact that it's a wider hood because then it's more breathable for me. And also, I just prefer that look a little bit, not like super wide, but this was nice.
Well, I like those because you can have the look you want, and you can always put a hat underneath it.
Right. Or you can also pull it tight if you want to. But I don't want tight, so let's loosen that. But yeah, so I'm very happy with this. This came in, yesterday? Yesterday. It came in...
I thought it came in a couple days ago.
No, it did, because it was supposed to arrive Saturday, and then it got pushed back to Monday. So, yeah, it arrived Monday. Because I almost immediately put it on, and then I was like, oh, Mom's upstairs doing her physical therapy. I will put it on for the podcast. Mm-hmm. So, I'm very happy. I got it almost as soon as I saw the video. I was looking for sales because I knew I had to have one in not the light gray. And the lady was really nice to work with. At first I thought I wanted the oversized look.
Right. Oh yeah, she's the one to the size.
And I said, hey, this is my bust size. I'm having trouble judging what would be an oversized hoodie. What would you recommend? And as it turned out, I decided I didn't like the oversized look, so I went with the other size that she recommended.
That doesn't look like an oversized.
I just decided I didn't want it that big. I wanted to be able to wear it out and about.
See, I like to swim in my sweatshirts.
Right. Now, for you, this might be more swimmy because I'm bigger than you are. I think if a size up might be too swimmy for you.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So, because I'm bigger than you are, this would probably be the perfect size for you regardless.
And it's a little different with a hoodie, too. Right,
because you can't do it really off the shoulder.
I'm definitely an 80s person for that. That was a fun look.
But yeah, so I'm very happy. I do like hoodies. I get cold, and there's something about a hoodie, just like a sweatshirt, that's just a little bit warmer, and then the hood. And sometimes with hoodies that have hoods, they're a little tight, so it actually pushes down. Because it's such a loose hoodie, it's not going to give me the top of head pain that I sometimes get. So this is probably going to be one I wear a lot, along with my green Franciscan one, alumni one that's all torn up along here that I didn't understand what alumni was when I got it my freshman year. And me and another guy got made fun of because both of us did that. He was a redhead. He looked really good in the green. Yeah. It wasn't the big redhead. It was someone I went to a different class.
We don't want to go through all the Franciscan University.
No, the only ones I have left is, I think I might have my Warriors black one.
Mm-hmm. I have my parent one.
Yeah. I need to lose some weight before I can wear the Warriors black one again. But my other two, I got a bigger size, so I'm able to wear them. My red one and my green one that I wore all the time. I kind of wish I kept some of my other ones, like my black Franciscan one, but I'm glad I at least kept the red and the green. But because those I do wear a lot. The green one's more comfortable than the red one. But yeah, so I almost forgot to show this. You guys probably will be seeing it a fair amount just because not only do I love what's on it, I love the color. And I don't have enough yellow anymore. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, we've kept you guys long enough, and I'm getting hungry. So, and Davina has eaten lunch alone again, and I don't like that. So,
Yeah.
We want to thank you for joining us for the fun in the Woman Cave. We wish you a wonderful Shrove Tuesday.
Yes.
And week going into the first week of Lent. And we
need to do this without punching you.
Hope that it's a wonderful week full of everything that makes you happy. And we hope to see you here again for the fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. I think I said it was episode 588.
Oh, I don't remember. Let me scroll back for you.
558? 588?
I don't think we're at 88 already. Maybe we are.
I don't know. 558 maybe?
588. Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's a wrap.
Bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.